So Apple had WWDC today. This is the annual event where Apple talks about everything in their software ecosystem, starting from the lesser used products like Vision OS to Watch OS, then Mac OS, iOS, iPad OS, everything under the sun. So all of their entire software ecosystem gets a refresh, upgrades, and this is the event which people look forward to. I have become an Apple fanboy for quite some time, and I haven't missed an Apple event, and this was very different. I think they announced capability which was expected and anticipated, but haven't seen a lot of news around it, and it was quite a lot of surprise to me. There are some notable features which I want to talk about in the changes. So they have introduced something with Apple Pencil within a calculator in Mac, in iPad, and a calculator has been missing for years in iPad. If you use iPad, you know what I mean. People were downloading a bunch of third-party apps, but what they have introduced is you can literally do equations of graphs, of handwritten calculations, and Apple will automatically recognize and convert them. So I think the new iPad calculator is a great feature which I really loved. Again, AI powered and all of that. But this is the core selling bit. This is the meat. Apple Intelligence, AI for the rest of us. This is large language models at play, bringing experiences that are very, very consumer driven. And this is where you could really get into a lot of thinking about how to design great experiences and product without getting too much overboard on the tech. So I'm gonna take a deep dive into the capabilities that they're selling, so you don't have to watch the entire video. Now, each of these image talks about different stuff. So I'll go on and say, so the first image itself, where you should see a, okay, sorry about this. Okay, yeah, you should see a hover around the iPad, Apple icon. And what's that is the Siri is getting some sort of a redesign. Next, you have some sort of writing tools available where across the ecosystem within, whether you're using a mail app or a third-party app, notes app, or just browsing online, typing, taking notes. Anywhere you type, you will get writing assistive, and it's an assistive tool, so you can have Apple proofread your document, rewrite it, make it more friendly, make it more professional, make it more concise, summarize it, capture the key points, convert it into table, convert it to a list. All of that is available for a paragraph. So if you have an email, you can literally rewrite it. Then there are a bunch of emojis and image creation tools which are quite funky and interesting. Then it keeps track of all your conversations, so it has a personalization built into it. So if you have messages and somebody has sent you a book recommendation, it's going to keep a track of it, which is very, very good. So if you haven't added an event to your calendar, you can just search and find it out in your messages. So it's a great implementation. They have implemented mail upgrades. I'm not a huge fan of mail app in Apple, but this looks like a good deal, so I'm just gonna take it for a spin. But what they have done is they have added a bunch of filters and prioritizations based on maybe interactions, the kind of users that you're sending. So the another nifty AI feature. You can generate images on the fly within the messages app, so you can draw personal context while setting a brand new standard. And again, it's looking at a picture of a mom and creating a super mom image, which is great. You can do all of that. For example, if you had a call with somebody, you can also record all of that, so that's also available. You can get priority notifications, so notifications are also acting on AI. Bunch of context conversations like between mails and stuff like that. You have Photos app where you could create a movie, which is a generative AI powered movie. All of this is large language model and small language model. You can optimize your email responses, and it can generate smart replies for you, and it can ask some questions like, if you're responding to a pickup, would your partner be joining, would you be driving or taking an Uber, and all of that. Can keep track of your flights, do notifications, and then all of this is available across the ecosystem. So basically everything that you get, which is so rich in Apple, the one thing which I love the most is universal copy paste. Just is very helpful for me all the time. Deeper dive into the writing tools, proofreading again, making the tone change, etc., etc. Some sort of focus communication driven stuff. So for example, this is, yeah, So if you have a call coming, you can just notes app or phone app, you can just record and transcribe the conversation, and it'll record real time. There's bunch of apps that do this capability, and I can see them, all of those SaaS apps going away. I've seen, in fact, I have subscriptions of some notes app where it's integrated with AI and all that, and I'll not be surprised if in another year or so Apple kind of just integrates all of them in the ecosystem, like the capabilities. uh, Different kind of focus mode. I am not a big user of focus mode, so can't really comment on it. So yeah, a lot of communication centric features, writing, focus, and communication. Image creation features. So let's say you have drawn something by hand in your notes. You have a new brush in notes which can actually generate a new image for you. So you just use that, go ahead and define that. So if you take a look at this, there's an image which has been hand drawn in architecture. So now you're converting that image, you can actually describe it as well, you can change the prompt and all of that. So that's really neat feature. You can create very expressive emojis, and all of this is generative AI powered. I don't want to get into specifics of this, but all of this is generative AI powered. So it's great that Apple is starting to get into it. Siri is just looks like it's gonna come with a blow, completely revamped. In fact, few days back I was talking with the Chat GPT assistant, and it gave a feeling that after talking to Chat GPT, after talking to Siri, it was kind of archaic conversation. Now they have just revamped it. So I think all in all, extremely welcome change. Absolutely privacy centric. They are explaining the notion very well that the external cloud is used only basis the request, because they're really privacy centric. Everything else is done on device, and finally they have also integrated Chat GPT for free without even creating an account. So, and then there is a promise of also bringing other language models, which is very unlike Apple, so as to speak. I mean, Apple likes to stick it within their ecosystem. Microsoft has a partnership with OpenAI, and somewhere it seems that Apple is having that too, or maybe Apple is leveraging its partnership with Microsoft in order to bridge this. God knows. But yeah, it's very interesting to see ChatGPT coming natively into the writing assistant. So every time, what it's gonna do is every time it suggests to use ChatGPT, it's gonna ask you. So very interesting stuff. Obviously, tons of development capabilities for developers. You will have new SDKs and all of the things to play around with. So all in all, a great feature change. This was the most highlighted capability for me, talked about in the last of the event. The rest of the event is great as well. A lot of features are being introduced new, so do watch out if you're interested. But this to me is the highlight of the event. All right, thanks for listening. Till next video. Bye bye.